Hi everyone, I'm Christine Josty of Mail Something Pretty, and I wanted to show you this really super cute gingerbread card, although I kept calling it a chocolate house, so it could be a chocolate card or a gingerbread card. This was a club project this month and everyone who made it loved it, so I just wanted to show you, because I thought you might like it too, how I put it together. There's actually kind of a couple different versions of this card. I'll show you. So these two are really similar. The only difference is the roof. So this roof I stamped and embossed on the early espresso paper to kind of match the house here, and then this one was stamped and embossed just on white paper, so it's a little bit more snowy. So you get two choices there. This card was inspired by Mary Fish, who is a demonstrator out in Arizona. Hers was almost the same except for she used a larger size. And what I decided to use are the note cards and envelopes. So you get 20 note cards and 20 envelopes in the package, and I think it's $7.50. It's a great deal. They all come pre-scored. Actually, I'm going to take one out now because we're going to use it. You can kind of see there's a score line right there. And they use a regular size postage stamp. You don't need anything special. And you also get an envelope in there. And then you can buy them either basic white like these are, or very vanilla. So they're a great deal. So that's really kind of the only change. And then on this one, instead of just the two symmetrical trees, I added 2 lollipops and some gumdrops. So these are all, and I also changed the sentiment because it kind of went along with the candy. They're all from the same stamp set called Sweet Gingerbread, which is in the holiday 2022 holiday catalog. So you get all these bits and pieces to create your own house, and you get, there's dies too. So all the dies cut out all the shapes, plus you get some extras. You get a fence, you get some snow. I'm trying to think some extras you get. Actually, I can show you. You get this little walkway piece, so that's a cutout. So this one I made, I was kind of inspired by this one. So I just changed it up a little bit. I made it more of the regular A2 size. I used those deckled dies, the rectangles, and raised up the snow. I added a white fence and some trees and a wreath. And then a slight variation on that one, you can say I was having fun. I just added some gumdrops and some lollipops, and I just put a cloud behind. And so that's kind of similar to that. So you can have a lot of fun with these. So I just wanted to show you some of the variations. So those are this is the one we're gonna make here. And I'm going to show you some steps with I used the Stamparatus because we did it in club and we had multiple people kind of stamping. I kind of came up with a way of how to do multiple stamping, so I wanted to show you how I did that. And then really a lot of it's just kind of stamp and assembly. So I created a template. I just cut out, let's see, out of the dies, I just cut out the house, which lines up with the house on the stamp set. So I just cut that out of white paper. Actually, I'm going to use that as a There we go. This is what I'm trying to do. So I just cut it out of white paper. And so what I did is I had everybody put the white paper inside. Actually, before I do that, I'm going to show you what I did. So that was cut out. I taped it down, used the magnet so it wouldn't move. And then how you line up your Stamparatus is I just put the stamp in where I want it to go. So it's nice with the template because you can really see exactly where you want it. And so that's stuck there. And then everyone put in their house. Just want to make sure that didn't move. Yeah. And then I used early espresso. You can use other gingerbread colors, would be like soft suede or even crumb cake. This is just a nice deep rich gingerbread, this early espresso. So I stamped that, pressed it down, and you get your image. So everyone kind of did that. But I just want to show you, hopefully you can see the difference. You can see a slight difference hopefully in the color. So this one we just stamped so it's darker, and this one is dried. So it's kind of say you cooked gingerbread, whereas raw and baked. So you need to let this sit aside for a little while till it gets dried for the next step, because it's wet. And so we're going to do some embossing. So if we did it while it was wet, it would, all that embossing powder would stick. So this one, I'll just set this one aside for later. This one's nice and dry. So I'm going to put it in. It fits because it's all the same size. And then we're going to add on some of those little cute little elements. So you have the frame around the doorway and the windows. So I want that to go there. And then you have this cute little detail on the house. So I'm going to stick those on at the same time. I'll put this back. And again, it goes back to the same place because I taped it down. And then we're going to use embossing. So actually, use my little embossing buddy. If you don't have an embossing buddy, sometimes like a staticky Kleenex works, or a dryer sheet. But they actually do sell the embossing buddy again. So I'm going to use the Versamark ink. I'm going to press that down. And then I'm going to use my white. I keep my embossing powder in just these reusable plastic containers. And I actually write which one. So this one is my white. It's white and clear look the same. They're both white powders. And then I even keep the spoon in there, so I always use the same one. Oop, oh, that's all right. And tap it down. So because it was dry, it didn't get, some of my other ones, you can kind of see I did while it was wet. You get a little speckles, but it looks like snow, so it's okay. Yeah, these I rushed. There's little speckles around it because it was wet. So I would use my heat tool and dry that, and so it becomes dried like that. So just for saving a little time, I already did it. Okay. So the Stamparatus is helpful when you have multiples to do, so you can kind of create a little template and do it that way. All right, so this I'm going to carefully set aside, and I will use it later. So now we have some of our pieces. So I already cut out the snow. I think it went this way. And the die, it's kind of nice, it's big. So you can kind of figure out, you know, depending on the size of your card, where you want the mounds of snow to go. So I decided, so I was keeping that in where the door was, which you'll see in a second. And I already pre-did the roof. So this one, like I said, I did it with the white embossing powder. There's a stamp. I should not have put this behind me. So there's a stamp right there. So I did it, or I did it with the white. So I'll decide as I'm putting it together which one I want to use, but they both work out pretty. And then I cut out the little smoke, and I have 2 trees and a heart. So I have found, actually, it works kind of better to cut them all out first and then stamp. You can certainly stamp them and then cut them out with the dies. So here you get 2 trees. There's a heart in here somewhere. When you get down here, you get a door, you get windows, you got lollipops, gumdrops, a little wreath. But I actually found it was easier to do it this way. So that's what I'm going to do. This should have enough give to it. All right, so my tree, I already have it on a block. I'm using garden green. So when you stamp in place, you're going to think, well, the branches don't really line up with the branches, but they do. It just doesn't look like it. So I'm going to line up the trunk. So so hopefully you can see I'm lining up the trunk there, and by doing that, you get it on there perfectly. So just keep your eye on the trunk. Like that. And then we'll do the heart. I used Sweet Sorbet. You can certainly use Real Red. They're similar. It's just a little softer. Has like a slightly more pink in it, but it's pretty close to red. So I did a heart. See how I just think it's easier to stamp it and then to line up the dies. And then this one says from our home to yours. Right there in the clouds. I think that is all the stamping, at least on the outside of the card. So now it's just assembly. So I'll just show you one thing I told my club members. I actually put the snow on first, and all I did is I just put, you can see, just a little glue on the bottom of that snow, and that's it. Because then we're going to tuck everything in. So I'm going to line, I lined it up right to the edge. You can put it wherever you want. But now we have these pockets kind of to tuck in. So I'm going to, so everything slides in. So now I'm going to put my house down. Just going to slide it in just until, I know it's white on white, so it might be hard to see, but just until that door frame, the bottom of it is hidden by the snow. Let's see if that helps. And then the trees I'm going to tuck in. You don't need much glue. So this will be good, just tucked in. If you want it in front of the snow, that's fine. It's kind of fun. You know, you could put one in front, one behind. You can kind of really customize your house, like I did with the gumdrops on the other one. And then for the, let's see, for the heart, I think I'll use a dimensional. I think it just fits on there. Yep, it just fits, so you don't have to trim it. Again, you can put your heart any color. And then you could raise this up, or you can put it underneath or put it on top. I think for this one, I kind of did both. So I'll just raise this one up since I have the dimensionals right here. Kind of puff of smoke. And then for your roof, you can either put it flat. I guess I'll just do chocolate. I like them both. I can't really, oh, tuck that tree back in there. It wasn't dry. You certainly don't want a windblown tree. This card's pretty symmetrical, so we don't want it any windblown. So you could do the roof flat, or you could cut some dimensionals on the little side, or if you have mini dimensionals, those would work. So I'll just make sure that those aren't being seen on the other side. Yep. So again, raise them or make them flat. I did both. I'll take out the other example so you can see. Oh, let's see a little bit. And it kind of ties it all together, that roof line. So there you go, from our home to yours. And then I will probably stamp, I have a Merry Christmas for another set, so I'll stamp Merry Christmas on the inside, and maybe I'll put a heart or a tree. I'll decide. So again, those were that was the one with the candy. This is the one with the white roof. And then these were kind of the more embellished ones. A little bit more work. Yeah, that's the same as that one. So there you go. So that is all with the Sweet Gingerbread stamp set and the coordinating dies that sell as a bundle to save you 10%. And again, I used my note cards and envelopes to make it easier. So no cutting the cardstock. And yeah, they're kind of fun. So these make great gift tags. I'm going to have fun with this set. I hope you do too. So I really appreciate you watching. Be sure, if you have not already, to subscribe to this YouTube channel so you get notified whenever I upload a video, as well as go visit my blog at mailsomethingpretty.com, and you can see a whole bunch of things there, and sign up for my mailing list while you're there too. Have a wonderful day. Have a sweet Christmas, and I'll see you on the next video. Thanks. Bye-bye.